This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Hello, college sports fans, and welcome to the Primetime Podcast. My name is Ricky Widmer, and as always, I'm joined by the one, the only, Brandon Swanson.
Hey.
And Brandon, like I say every week, we've got a jammed-packed show, got a little bit of basketball. However, we're going to start the podcast off
with your Illini football.
Well, yeah, my Illini, but I was going to say college football making a cut. It can't let college basketball let all the limelight. Can't let them have it.
No, that would be absolutely rude. So, folks, how about this? Illinois football. Finally gonna be good?
I hope.
Well,
I hope.
I'll tell you what, they're not gonna be forced to do anything they don't want to do, because who is now at the helm? Lovie Smith, former Chicago Bear coach, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer coach, Lovie Smith, the new coach of the Fighting Illini. And folks, let me tell you, Ricky sends me a message on Saturday night that as I'm watching the North Carolina Duke game, he sends me a message, says,
Is this real?
Is this real? Could this be for real? And I look at it and I go, this guy, this is, no, absolutely this is not happening. I'm not seeing anything on the scroll, on the bottom line there.
Because I just saw it on Facebook. I saw it like on Bleacher Report. It had, whoa, this is big.
And then I go online and I'm like, oh. I see it on NFL.com. It's one of the bottom pieces,
yeah.
and I say to Ricky, I said, "This is not real." Ricky goes, "Yeah, it is. It's on Fox. It's on this. It's on that." And I'm like,
your whole thing was, I don't know. I haven't seen it on ESPN. I haven't seen it on the mothership, and I'm just sitting there.
As some would call Aspen.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just sitting here. I'm seeing it on CBS. I'm seeing it on Fox, and to me, my first thought was, it was kind of like for wrestling fans, I'm going to quote The Rock here, finally, winning could be coming back to Illinois. Finally.
Well, I think that at least now you know what you're getting from the head coach position. You know what Lovie Smith brings.
Oh, I know what he's going to bring right away.
But so do the other coaches and players.
Yeah, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go to a good bowl game or possibly the college football playoff. We will lose that game. And then we will lose most of our games to either Purdue or Northwestern because he can't beat a rival. That's what's going to happen. Gets us to the big game. Do we win? Do we do good? Yes. Can't beat the rival. Can't win in the big game. NFC Championship game, Super Bowl, lost both of those. Couldn't beat the Pack.
So you sound pretty excited then.
Listen to me.
Listen though. Do you think that Lovie Smith is the guy to turn around Illinois football? What do you think, as being a diehard Illinois fan? Yes, you've got the... Listen,
Would he have been the first guy? No.
Listen. I am not done yet, so you cannot answer.
Laying down the hammer then.
Here is the question.
Okay.
Lovie Smith, he comes with the name recognition. Trust me, being a White Sox fan... Oh, you got Ken Griffey. Oh, he's going to retire in 2 years. Oh, you got Manny Ramirez. Oh, he's at the end of his career. We've got some of these guys with name recognition at the trade deadline. Doesn't do anything. You've got a guy now with Lovie Smith, name recognition, could turn it all around, but does he?
I think he does. And what this is more importantly for me as an Illini fan, for the first time in... I can't believe I'm about to quote Frozen, but for the first time in forever, I finally have a feeling of, yes, my AD, my school are all in. They are all in to make sure that we're going to have a winning program, because when I even brought it up to Sean Anderson here of MVP, his first thought is, great, you want a mediocre coach who can't win in the big game? I said that earlier, like 2 seconds ago, joking. But the one thing that Lovie will bring us is credibility. And for so long, as an Illinois fan, I've sat here and watched coach after coach. Zucker was the last one. Ron Zook was the last one where I thought, man, this team's pretty good. this team can do something. He leaves. We bring in Tim Beckman and Cubit. Even though I liked Cubit, he would have fell into the same kind of category as Tim Beckman. I'd rather have Lovie Smith, who's had success in the NFL, has never had a head coaching job in college, but has had college jobs. He's had success in the NFL and has the possibility to do the same thing at Illinois, rather than, oh, we've got this guy who won the MAC championship with Western Michigan and Toledo, but then when he gets to the big stage of the Big Ten, and when I say that I mean like a Power 5 conference, and then shits the bed. That's what I've seen for the past few years. Oh, yeah, you did great in Toledo, Tim Beckman, but then you're shit when you get to Illinois. You're a defensive coach, but our defense sucked. Tell me how that is. So for once, like in my lifetime, I can look at Illinois and go, I can expect great things from this team, and Lovie's going to turn it around.
Well, I think that one thing that Lovie Smith will bring is consistency. I think he will bring consistency. I think that also, I mean, I don't know how many would necessarily say flock there, but I think you'll get some more recruits now because it's Lovie Smith. I mean, you get to go and you get to potentially play for what was an NFL head coach. You know, he's been there. He knows it. He knows the business. He's got some connections. You know, I think that is attractive, and I think that that's part of the reason why Illinois wanted to go after him and ultimately got him there. I mean, I really think that he could bring in, just by his name recognition, more recruits, and most likely will for Illinois, which is one thing that they've been hurting on. They are not the top school to bring in recruits. When you look at the Big Ten, I don't even think they're close. Well,
and here's the thing, then this is most important. As I was waiting for you in the parking lot to come over from work before we were recording this podcast, it was great that I was able to listen to Waddle and Sylvie had Lovie on the show today. And one of the things they talked about was recruiting. How are you going to recruit? Because the NFL is a different game. In the NFL, it's, oh, I want this guy. I talk to him. I maybe bring him to our facility. I give him a contract offer, and virtually he has the decision to say yes or no. Also in the NFL, you have a general manager that you have to answer to. And really, in some cases, it's the GM saying, here's your team. Where in college, you as the head coach, you're the guy who sets it up all yourself. You get to decide which players you want. You get to answer to no one. The way that Sylvie kind of described it on ESPN 1000 today was, you're the CEO of Illinois football. And one of the first things Lovie said that got me to buy in, maybe it's because this is the area from Illinois which I reside, but we got to make a push for Chicago athletes. And my first thought was, yes. Y-E-S, yes, yes, yes. Because you can try to compete. The thing with Tim Beckman that always I never really got was, why were we targeting Florida so much? That's SEC country. The top recruits from Florida aren't going to want to come to Illinois. Now, did we get a couple from Florida? Yeah, but that was our huge pipeline. And it always looked to me like, why are we looking at Florida when we've got athletes right here in Chicago, right here in Illinois? Also, another thing that they're linking to Lovie is, because he's originally from Texas, maybe he can reel in some Texas recruits, because Texas is one of the states high school football reigns supreme, and those are some of the guys that are always at the top of the recruiting boards.
Well, I think another thing when you talk about Lovie Smith is that he knows the base. He knows what it takes. He knows where these guys come from, and I think that's a huge thing. You cannot go away from what's going to work for you. You know, there's really, like you said, there's really no reason to go out to Florida, or at least as much as they were doing, Illinois football was doing. You got to know what's going to work best. And that, for a big part, is keeping it right here, close to home, because it makes the most sense. It's logical. Don't go away from what works. And Illinois the last couple of years,
has been a joke.
They've just not been good.
And
maybe it's because they've lost their way.
You can say it, Brandon. We've been a complete joke. We've been the laughing stock of the Big Ten. Well, there's only Purdue's below us. Purdue's the laughing stock.
No one's laughing at Purdue anymore. They're just like used to it.
We weren't that far ahead of them though. And I mean, the one great season we had under Tim Beckman, woohoo, we were over 500 by a game. We were 6-5, ended up 6-6 because we lost to Louisiana Tech and Little Holst in the Heart of Dallas Bowl that year. That was our best season under Tim Beckman.
Well, it was time for a change, and Illinois realized that.
Well, I don't think it was Illinois. I think it was the new AD we've got.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the whole state of Illinois.
But I mean, Widmer came in, and to me, there's a lot of people that are criticizing this in a way because of one of the conversations I heard on the radio today here in Chicago was criticizing Widmer for his decision to fire Cubitt the way he did. Now, Cubitt is still going to get paid the money that he was supposed to earn this season, but there were some people saying, hey, you know what, this isn't ethically right from Widmer to come in, immediately fire Coach Cubitt, and then say, hey, you know what, all these assistants that you've hired, bye-bye, you're basically gone too because Lovie's going to want his own staff in. The way I saw it when I heard this on the radio was I'm sitting there going, if you're an AD and you came in, first off, it's fucking stupid to hire a head coach when you don't have an AD to give Cubitt a 2-year extension when you don't have an AD that is going to back him. And number two, why, if you have a guy like Lovie in your back pocket like Widmer apparently had, why not go for it? Why not swing for the fences? Because we have sucked so long. I just want to be good again. I really want, I'll settle for almost winning our division. I'll settle for that. Just competing for the division. I just want to be in the talk. That's what I want as an Illinois fan. And I love this move. I love bringing Lovie in. The big thing when he was in Chicago was, what kind of a man is he? He's a family man. It's all about the team, and the team is a family. That's perfect for college. Perfect for young kids. Lovie's going to bring a culture to this team that we have not seen in some time. And may it be rocky his first year? Yeah, a little bit. But he's going to get kids, high school kids, to buy into his system that'll want to play for Lovie because he's been in the NFL. And really, when you're a high school kid, let's be honest, that's what you want. Most kids want to have an opportunity to play in the NFL.
Widmer did what he needed to do. He came in and he saw that with what they had, Illinois was going to continue to be the same old Illinois. Mm-hmm. He did something that not a lot of ADs would do on day one. He gets rid of Bill Cubitt and then hires Lovie Smith. Not too many ADs have that ability. Not too many ADs can pull off something like that. He did. He showed he had some balls. He did it. And why? Because he wants to see Illinois be successful, and because he knows the fans want to see them be successful yet again. That's a good AD, and hopefully that's a sign of good things to come for Illinois football. And right now, honestly, Lovie Smith could probably go over and coach the basketball team as well.
Well, I mean, don't even get me started on Illinois basketball right now. But I mean, one of the most interesting things that today when I saw the press conference for Lovie Smith, it kind of changed my eyes on some of the tweets that I saw from this past weekend. But like a few of them, Dudek, our wide receiver, love finding out about this through Twitter, basically saying, I love finding out that our coach got fired through Twitter. You got Chance Crouch, one of our quarterbacks. I'm refreshing my Twitter feed for updates on my own football team for crucial information. This is crazy. Keshawn Vaughn, running back. They tell Twitter before even telling the team. Wow. That was stuff like when I saw it the weekend, I'm like, okay, okay, players are freaking out. This isn't good. But I feel like Lovie, just knowing, and what I saw from the players today, like, he got to talk to the team at 7. He was talking to the team at 7 a.m. Players are going to buy into Lovie's system. And he's going to have this team working. And, I mean, the last thing I feel like we got to talk with this one is overall, what grade would you give for this hire from Widmer and the Illini and Brandon? I got to give this one a fat old A+. Swinging for the fences, all in. What I will tell my fellow Illini faithful is if Lovie loses the first big game that we have, don't fear. Don't say like, oh, well, everything's over because, we lost the first game. Oh, he's a bum. We shouldn't have hired him. No. We got to right the ship. It may not be the most successful right from the get-go, but it will get better under Lovie Smith.
I'll give it an A-. I'm really pretty impressed by the move myself. One reason why the minus is there, Lovie really struggled to advance his team or his teams that he was given. We'll see if he can do that with Illinois.
And the last thing I'll throw in on this one, Lovie most likely won't have a problem against Murray State in our opener on September 3rd. The big game for Lovie Smith, and I know that you're an Alabama fan when it comes to football, but this is your basketball team that we'd be playing. It's that game on September 10th when the North Carolina Tar Heels come to town because they embarrassed us last year. That's the game where if we can win that one with not Lovie's guys, because it wouldn't be Lovie's recruits that would be playing for him, that'll make me go, okay, this is the right move. If we lose that game, then I'm on the side of, okay, we need Lovie's recruits. Either way, I'm all for this signing. I am all for Illinois possibly getting back to where I hope they can be in the future.